Everett, or Brandon, Da Vinci Code, whatever you want to call me. And I just was at, the store, and, like, since I quit smoking and I started getting back into vaping, feel a lot healthier, by the way, I saw this, and it's a luxury light smooth mocha ehookah. And I have the real hookah, that you fill up with water, and you can just put any flavor of tobacco or shisha, whatever, in it, or herbs. You know what I'm talking about? So I decided to get this. I bought some Peace Tea too. Shout out to Peace Tea for sponsoring the video. Not really. Shit. I only got like 4 subscribers. Ain't nobody sponsoring my ass. But I decided to give this a try. Do a review of this, as well as review one of the sleaziest, scumbaggiest horror films to ever come out of 1970s or 1972, which is Last House on the Left. A real scumbag type of movie. Which, I mean, it's okay in my opinion, slightly overrated, but we'll get into that later. First, let's take a look at the e-cigarette itself. I don't know if you can see too good, but, just because my crappy lighting. But you'll see luxury lights in gold right there. And it's kind of a brownish, light brown, dark brown mocha color. You'll see that there's like a little diamond button that you press down to make it light up. And it glows a fiery red. Alright, so let me just give it a shot. Not bad. I'm going to take it down into my lungs to see if it gives you any type of throat hit, or if there's any pins and needles in the lungs. Well, it's very smooth, and it reminds me of Starbucks coffee, which I love Starbucks coffee. When I worked at the call center, I would go there like every day. I'd get a caramel macchiato. That's exactly what that tastes like. Or one of those like white chocolate mocha type things. Oh, I love Starbucks. I actually got Starbucks free because I was there so much. Like, god dang, this guy comes every single day. And there's this cute redhead that would give me either discounts or free coffee because I was there every single day. Like, they're like, damn, he's back again. Even my coworkers like, damn, you alright? You think you have a problem? It's like, I don't think I have a problem. All like jittering and like spasming out and stuff. Pupils all dilated from all the caffeine. That's what that tastes like. It's really good. I don't know if this has nicotine in it, because I really don't feel the nicotine. I feel nice and relaxed, but that could be just for me, vaping it, or a psychological thing. Let me take one more hit of it. I'm going to take it down my throat into my lungs, so mouth to throat to lungs, to see if I can get any of that scratchiness that's usually associated with nicotine. No, you don't really get a scratchiness. So I'm willing to bet there's zero nicotine in this. I threw the box away. It's just a little plastic container. But yeah, I would definitely buy this again, or a rechargeable one if they had that. I have like an Ego style one, and then I have one with a big battery. But I kind of like the ones that are shaped like cigarettes. I don't buy them too often, but since I quit smoking, they're easy to carry around and just kind of, I don't know, I just like having something in my hands. Anyways, on to my review of Last House on the Left, 1972. Now, you might be saying, why do you love these movies? I love these movies. I love movies from the 70s and 80s just because of how great they are. They're usually truly scary, suspenseful, and have characters that you care about. Now, just because most horror films from the 70s and 80s are good doesn't mean that they're all good. Some are bad. Some are really bad. I wouldn't say that Last House on the Left, 1972, is a bad movie. I wouldn't say that at all, but I don't know if I would necessarily say it's a good movie. I'm going to give the synopsis first. The synopsis The synopsis is, proper grammar, the synopsis is, there are 2 young girls, teenage, early 20s, going to a rock concert for a band called Bloodlust. Yeah. The band called Bloodlust, so they're going to go buy some pot. And they end up running into some junkie kid, you know, and he ends up bringing them in the house, and that's how they end up getting caught by the escaped convicts. Now, there's a part of this movie that's laughably, it's just absurd. It shows each character, and it's like what they're guilty of. So it's like Krug, whatever the hell you want to call him, which was actually the inspiration for Freddy Krueger, who Wes Craven, written and directed Last House on the Left and A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. So you have Krug, who is like a murderer and a rapist or some shit. Like he's a murderer, rapist, drug dealer, whatever. Then it's like Junior Stillo is his son, who is a junkie, and the dad controls him by basically keeping him hooked on heroin. So he's controlled by drugs. And then there's Weasel, who was, I think he was arrested for child molesting, peeping Tomism, drugs, assault with a deadly weapon. And then there's a woman who, you never really know if she's the mother of Junior, but it's kind of implied, but they're kind of the same age. I don't know, but she could be like the mother. Sadie, who is like their getaway driver, and she like attacked 2 cops and helped them escape or some bullshit. And also, I'm glad I have an e-cigarette for this. There's a scene where Krug is walking down the streets of New York or some fucking bumfuck place, and he's like smoking a cigar, and he walks past a kid with a balloon and just goes pop, and pops his balloon. He's like, what an asshole! This little kid's playing with his balloon. Oh, I got a balloon! And he's just like, motherfucker, no you don't. Pop! And he pops his damn balloon and walks off. And the thing is, it's at nighttime, so it's like, what the hell is that little kid doing on the street corner of New York or some other big city playing with the balloon? And why the hell is Krug such an asshole? He's just gonna pop his balloon and walk off. Also, actually I was wrong about Krug. Krug was guilty of killing a priest and 2 nuns. That just popped in my mind. It's either Krug or Sadie, I don't remember, is guilty of killing a priest and 2 nuns. It's like, Krug Stillo killed a priest and 2 nuns. But anyways, the girls are going, and, you know, they're going to that concert, they get kidnapped, and this is my big complaint with the movie. It's basically, the killers catch the kids, they take them out in the woods, they rape them and beat them for about 30 minutes or an hour. Then they end up, having car trouble and spending the night in the house of the parents of the girls. And the parents discover, they just find, like, wait a minute, they don't find the bloody clothes, they find Junior with a necklace that they gave to the girl at the beginning of the movie, and I guess there's only one type of necklace in the world. So, like, they killed our daughter! And then they start investigating. Of course, they find bloody clothes and all that shit. So they plot revenge on our villains. And they end up killing them and torturing them or whatever for the next hour of the movie. One of my big complaints about this movie is there's these 2 cops. And one of the cops is the bad guy from Karate Kid from the 80s. The guy who's like, sweep the leg. Sweep the leg. That's all I thought when I saw him. But he's not a serious cop. Oh no. He's not a serious cop at all. They're bumbling like buffoons. Their car breaks down. And they get picked up by some chicken lady who is like, oh Lord, I'll give you a ride. But they don't get to ride inside of the truck. They have to ride on top of the hood with the chickens. And she reminds me of Aunt Jemima. I'm sorry. I'm not being racial. I'm just saying she reminds me of Aunt Jemima or that lady from, what's it called? Tom and Jerry. Oh, Tom, turn me loose. Anyways, there's these bumbling ass cops. They're running around. They're just awful. It's the awful part of the movie. The music's great. I love the music, but it's somewhat out of place. There's this part where they're driving the car and it's like, Weasel and Sadie, the junkie and dad, they're gonna kill you, the doodly-doo. And I'm just like, what the fuck? It doesn't really fit, but it does fit. Like, there's the music in the movie that fits fits really well. And the movie and the songs that don't fit are kind of odd, but they fit the movie really well. Like, I wouldn't have took those songs out. I would have left them in too, just because they're so bizarre and strange. Now, our heroes, or not our heroes, our villains, after they get killed in gruesome ways, the bumbling cops come in and just handle the evidence with their bare hands, like, oh my god, spoiler alert, here's a chainsaw, I'm just going to pick it up with my bare hands and walk out. Okay, at the end of the movie, there's like this credit sequence, and it's like a sitcom or something, like an episode of Friends. It pauses on everybody's face, and it's like, Krug, Sadie, Weasel, and like the two girls, and the parents, and it's just like all this like, we're just like playing this like really happy sitcom type music. It's one of the most bizarre movies I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, I don't hate it. I wouldn't say I really love the movie. I like it. I think it's okay. But it's not something, I don't think I would recommend that movie very much. I don't know. I was literally shocked the first time I watched it by how graphic it was, though. It was a very graphic movie. And then I saw the remake. It was so watered down and tamed. I was like, I couldn't believe it. So, you have the spectrum. If you want the sleazy, scumbag, violent, graphic one, 1972. If you want the watered down kind of thriller suspense movie, I would say the remake. And Wes Craven, I think, produced the remake, so some other bloke directed it. And I think I don't know if Wes Craven wrote it or not. If he did write it, I could see why he would go into more of a suspense type of thriller area instead of just a shock value type movie or an exploitation film, because he probably matured as a filmmaker and a writer. I have nothing against exploitation films. I like a few exploitation films. It's just that I don't know if Last House on the Left 1972 is one that I would really recommend to a lot of people. I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It's not a bad movie. But I don't know if I would go as far as saying it's a good movie. It's like I like it for what it is. And if you're a horror movie fan or just a fan of cinema in general, it's kind of something you have to see. Anyways, this video is running on for like 12, 13 minutes. Sorry for making it so long. It's just that with a movie as crazy as this, I kind of just had to go off rambling. Anyways, thank you for watching. And if you want to vape, and if you smoke and want to switch to vaping, I would recommend picking this up.